What if I told you that your brain is holding back your true potential? Not because it's weak, but because it's trying to protect you. Today, we're diving into the hidden brain mechanisms that decide how far you can actually go, and how you can break through them. Stay until the end, because I promise you'll never think about your mind the same way again. For decades, scientists and self-help gurus talked about the idea that humans only use a small percentage of their brains. Now, we know that's not entirely true. We use almost all of it, all the time. But what is true is this: most people never activate the highest performing state their brain is capable of. It's a state known as flow, and unlocking it is the key to tapping into abilities you never knew you had. Think about those moments when you were completely absorbed in an activity, when time seemed to disappear and you performed effortlessly. That wasn't just a fluke. That was a glimpse of your brain's peak performance, a state that science is only now beginning to fully understand. So, how do we get there on purpose? First, we need to understand what's holding us back. Deep inside your brain, there's a region called the prefrontal cortex. Think of it as the CEO of your mind. It handles complex decision-making, long-term planning, and most importantly, your sense of self-awareness, fear, and doubt. It's constantly scanning your environment, your thoughts, and your actions, asking questions like, is this safe? What will people think? What if I fail? This inner critic is a powerful survival mechanism, evolved over millions of years to keep you out of danger. It's the voice that tells you to stick with what's familiar and avoid uncertainty. That's why you might stop yourself from taking that bold career leap, starting that ambitious project, or even speaking up in a meeting. Your brain is literally wired to protect you from the perceived risk of failure or rejection. It defaults to safety, keeping you firmly inside your comfort zone. While this system is great for keeping us alive, it's a terrible guide for growth and achieving our biggest goals. It prioritizes comfort over potential. But here's the secret that high performers have discovered, either intentionally or by accident. When the prefrontal cortex quiets down, something absolutely incredible happens. The limitations it imposes begin to dissolve, and a whole new level of performance becomes accessible. This temporary shutdown of our inner critic is the gateway to unlocking our full cognitive power. Let's explore what happens when that gate opens. Imagine an athlete in the middle of a championship game, a musician lost in a solo, or a scientist on the verge of a breakthrough. They often describe being in the zone. This isn't a metaphor, it's a measurable neurological event. During these periods of intense focus, your brain temporarily deactivates or downregulates parts of that cautious prefrontal cortex. This phenomenon is called transient hypofrontality. Suddenly, that inner voice of doubt and self-consciousness goes silent. The fear of making a mistake vanishes. Time seems to warp, either slowing down, giving you more space to think and act, or speeding up, as hours feel like minutes. Your actions feel fluid and effortless, almost as if you're not the one doing them. This is the flow state. It has a neurological sweet spot where your brain is flooded with a powerful cocktail of performance-enhancing neurochemicals. Dopamine surges, increasing focus and motivation. Norepinephrine sharpens your attention, filtering out all distractions. Anandamide, the bliss molecule, boosts creative thinking and lateral connections, allowing you to link ideas in novel ways. And endorphins provide a natural sense of euphoria, making the entire experience deeply enjoyable. The result? Scientists estimate that creativity and problem-solving can increase by over 400% in this state. You're not just working harder, your brain is working smarter, faster, and more cohesively than ever before. This is the biological basis of peak performance. So how do we trigger this state on demand? Neuroscientists have mapped the process, and it's a 4-part cycle. It all begins with struggle. This is the phase where you're pushing your skills to their absolute limit, just beyond your current level of comfort. You're trying to solve a hard problem, learn a difficult piece of music, or master a new physical skill. It feels frustrating, and you might feel like you're about to give up. This struggle is essential because it loads the brain with the necessary information and primes it for the next step. Then comes the release phase. This is when you step back and let go of conscious control. You might take a walk, meditate, or simply switch your attention to something less demanding. This mental break allows the prefrontal cortex to quiet down, which triggers the next stage, flow. This is where your performance skyrockets. Ideas connect, actions become automatic, and you achieve a state of effortless excellence. Finally, there is the recovery phase. After the intense focus of flow, your brain needs time to consolidate what it has learned. During this rest period, your brain builds new, stronger neural pathways, literally rewiring itself to make that new, higher level of performance the new baseline. The more often you intentionally move through this struggle-release-flow recovery cycle, the more your brain adapts. You're not just having a good day, you're fundamentally upgrading your cognitive hardware to operate at its peak more often. Ultimately, unlocking your true potential isn't about grinding harder or pushing through exhaustion. It's about learning to work with your brain's natural systems, not against them. The limits you feel every day, the hesitation, the doubt, the fear of failure, they aren't real in the way you think they are. They are safety systems, ancient programming designed to ensure your survival, not your fulfillment or your greatness. Once you truly understand that your mind's default setting is safe mode, you can learn how to consciously switch it to high performance mode. Your mind is not your biggest obstacle. It's your greatest tool. Learning how to quiet the inner critic, embrace the struggle, and trigger the flow. State is the most powerful skill you can develop. It is the difference between living a life of quiet compromise and one of limitless growth and achievement. The choice is yours. If you love discovering the hidden science of the human mind and want to learn more ways to optimize your own performance, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. And let me know in the comments. I'm ready to unlock my potential. Because the brain is the most powerful machine in the universe, and it is time you learned how to use it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.